I'm the Cash Budget Cajun, and today I'm going to show you how to change the water pump in your outboard motor. Here's a look at all the tools you'll need for the job. When working on small outboards, it's always helpful to have a dedicated 1/4-inch drive socket set. You definitely want this in metric. Light-duty breaker bar, light-duty ratchet, your 1/4 drive ratchet, extensions, and adapters. You'll also need a couple of millimeter open end wrenches. It always helps to have a pair of pliers. Materials you'll need: white lithium grease, thread locking compound, and please don't ever forget your hot cup of coffee and your greasy ball cap. Start by removing your propeller. Place a block of wood between the propeller and the cavitation plate. This will make it easier to break the prop nut loose. Remove the nut, washer, and then the prop comes right off. This will make it easier to work on the lower unit. Inspect your shaft and the shaft seal. This seal prevents water from entering the gears in your lower unit. Make sure this is in good condition. Disconnect the shift actuator. You can do this by using two 10mm open-end wrenches. When this collar is separated, you'll be able to remove the lower unit by taking out the 4 bolts that hold the lower unit to the motor's midsection. The water pump sits directly on top of the lower unit. You can remove it by unfastening the 4 bolts that connect the 2 halves of the water pump together. With those 4 bolts removed, the top of the pump housing slides right off directly over the drive shaft. Remove the impeller cup next, exposing the pump impeller. This is the part that we're going to replace. The vanes on this impeller are permanently folded in. Some of them don't spring out as far as the others. That means it's not going to pump as efficiently as it should. The vanes are also beginning to dry out. This impeller is 6 years old. We'll now compare it to the new impeller. The vanes on the new impeller are softer and more pliable. They'll bounce back all the way, moving more water. Inspect the metal drive cup. Deep grooving on the inside of the cup can indicate wear, and you may have to replace the cup. This one looks good. Inspect the lower plate for grooving as well. This one looks good, but it's a little dirty. I'll clean it with brake fluid. Before installing the new impeller, put down a thin layer of white lithium grease. You want to avoid petroleum-based greases here because petroleum-based grease will actually dry out your new impeller. White lithium will be a better protector of the rubber components in the impeller and the seals in the motor. With the impeller installed, put a little grease on the vanes. This will help slip the pump housing over the top of the impeller. This will just make things a little bit easier to assemble. Slide the pump down the drive shaft. Make sure you turn the drive shaft clockwise while you press the housing onto the impeller, because this is the direction the shaft normally turns. On Honda motors, the shaft turns counterclockwise. So make sure you read your service manual to know which way to turn the shaft while installing your pump impeller. With the housing down over the impeller, you can tighten down the retention bolts. These torque down to 18.8 Newton meters, and I have a special light-duty torque wrench just for this job. Now it's time to reinstall the lower unit and then give the motor a run. I've plugged up a special set of ear muffs that feed water into the motor so it can run without overheating. And you can see it's pumping water just fine. Looks like this replacement is a success. I hope this video gives you the confidence to tackle your boat maintenance at home. I'm the Cash Budget Cajun. Happy motoring.